Box 5 TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now!
Hello everyone, this is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. Welcome to Marching Arts Now. On this week's program, we talk with 4 drum majors and they conduct 4 different tunes for us and do some dancing. We talk with the wonderful Cam Stasa about her connection to the very first BOA championship in 1976 and to a band traveling to Grand Nationals this year for the first time. We review 4 memorable shows from last weekend with 2 color guard and dance specialists. But first, we recap last week and look forward to this coming weekend with Daniel Valdez of TX Bands.
The Rundown.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. I'm here talking with Daniel Valdez from TX Bands. Daniel, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Great weekend this weekend, Tim. How's it going?
I'm doing great. So everybody, I told Daniel we wanted him to talk fast because we don't have a lot of time. And so he's been caffeinated. We will see what happens. Everybody, hold on to your seat. Daniel, tell me about the weekend.
Fantastic weekend. We were in Toledo, Ohio, really seeing those programs come up and really rise up. So fantastic performances out there. And we had 2 Texas regionals. We had Midland out in West Texas, and those West Texas programs are coming up as well. A lot of programs that are just starting out. Even the program that won over there, they've only been in existence like 2 or 3 years. So really some awesome stuff over there. And then I was in Katy at the West Houston Regional, watching all those amazing Houston programs, and then some programs came down from Austin. It was so overwhelming seeing all the talent on the field, and just an incredible time, great camaraderie. The parents were wonderful as always. So another great weekend in the world of Bands of America.
Everything goes off as clockwork as always at these Bands of America events. Quite amazing. So congrats to everybody for the great performances. So Daniel, we have 3 great regionals coming up this weekend. What are we looking forward to?
Okay, we're kind of spread all over the country, which is fantastic because it's Bands of America. Can't wait for that Hawaii regionals. Hopefully that comes out soon. We got to go to College Park, Maryland, where we have some just classic programs like Kiski area, Norwin, and Trumbull that have been a part of the BOA fabric for decades and decades and decades, successful for many, many years. Then we're going to Cedar Falls, Iowa. We got Prospect, Illinois, and we got Camden, Green Valley, Bellevue West. And guess what? It's an indoor stadium. Thank you. It's an indoor stadium. That's awesome. So everyone there is guaranteed to have a great performance. And then we took care of South Texas, East Texas, Central Texas, West Texas, but we got to take care of North Texas. Those Dallas programs feel like they've had an entire season already, but we got to get regional dedicated just from them. Dallas, Fort Worth, where you got programs like Hebron and Flower Mound and Marcus. And plus, there are plenty of smaller Texas programs, smaller relative in the state of Texas, where they're going to be at the contest, and they are on fire this year. So it's going to be such an exciting event. All 3 programs at College Park, Maryland, Cedar Falls, Iowa, and at the Dallas Fort Worth Regional. This is kind of the part of the season where everything starts to kind of come together. You're seeing full shows now. You're seeing full products now. Now we're going to kind of see cleaning and detailing, fine detail like Bob Ross. You get out that script liner brush and you do that fine detail. And then, of course, that's the brush we use to sign our completed painting. Yes, I've watched those videos before.
I love it, but you're absolutely right. We're into October. Shows are really coming together. We're really starting to see that push toward the end of the season in Grand Nationals. So it's going to be very, very exciting. And of course, Daniel, you guys at TX Bands are going to be there blogging the whole thing. Everybody check that out as you're watching the broadcast on Box 5 TV. Check out the blog going on at TX Bands. Daniel, you guys are doing a great job. I know it's been a lot of work covering all of these regionals. I think we're like halfway through the number of regionals for the whole season already.
It feels like it. It feels like we've done a complete season. We're only halfway done. And trust me, we're on top of that hill. And then when October hits, which we're in now, we roll down that hill and we run fast and fast and fast. So you better keep up because these performances are going to keep getting better and better and better. These contests are going to get more intense. And the applause at the end of these shows is so thunderous. You're not going to want to miss this season. It's already a special season because of what happened last year. So you better be ready. You want to be near somewhere where you can watch Box 5 TV, and you can participate in our live blog as well.
Well, it's going to be great. Just as you said, any band that gets on any field this year is a win after everything. And this year especially, it's so exciting to see the level of performances we're seeing. Daniel, thanks for talking to me today.
I appreciate you, Tim. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Joining us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Marching Arts Education. My name is Joshua Hecht. I'm the director with the Drum Major Leadership Academy and one of the co-hosts for this year's Bands of America series. We are so excited to be joined by 4 of the country's top collegiate drum majors. Emma Boone, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Josh. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Sarah, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you, Josh?
I'm great. Isaiah, it's great to meet you. How are you?
Great. Ready to go.
Awesome. And last but not least, Jordan, how are you?
Having a great day.
Let's go ahead and let the audience get to know all of you.
My name is Emma Boone. I just recently graduated this year from UCLA, actually. I was a drum major for 3 years there. I also played mellophone and French horn, and I studied music education. So right now I'm actually a band director in Southern California, living the dream. So very excited to be here.
My name's Sarah Gallardo. I go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where I'm a senior studying exercise and sports science. This is my first and only year as drum major, and I'm super excited to continue this season.
My name is Isaiah Brown. I'm the current drum major for the Virginia State University Trojan Explosion. I played alto saxophone in the band for 2 years, and the 3rd year was a COVID year. Now I'm back. It's my senior year, and now I'm drum major.
My name is Jordan Fraze. I'm a 5th year music education major here at Florida State. And this is my 3rd year as drum major. I played mellophone for 2 years and I was assistant drum major, and I became the head drum major in 2020. It was a COVID year. So I took a victory lap and get to do the real thing this year. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
We would love to see all of you conduct. We want to give a big thank you to J.W. Pepper for providing some amazing stands tunes. Let's go ahead and conduct the first one together. That was awesome. That was so great. Let's go ahead and dive right into the very next song, Dynamite.
All right, Isaiah beat me on that one.
Man, Isaiah, you hit that baby out of the park. That was amazing. Is this how hard you work on the field, man? Do you work this hard on the field all the time?
I didn't know the dance, so I just did my own.
I loved it.
You all are fantastic. Let's go ahead and change gears for a second, and may the force be with you as you conduct The Mandalorian. This has been so much fun. For our very last song today, let's go ahead and get a little funky with Uptown Funk. Awesome job. Awesome job. This has been so much fun. Thank you all so much for joining us today. For everyone watching, if you want to show some love and vote for your favorite conductor, head over to Instagram at Marching Arts Education and comment who your favorite conductor was from today's competition. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
The Easley High School Band from South Carolina is making their first trip to Grand Nationals, and their director, Rick Langsdale, contacted us with this really interesting story. Well, we had no idea that this story was going to weave its way around to include the wonderful Cam Stasa from Music for All, as well as some folks from Easley. So we're going to talk to everybody. Cam, how are you?
I am great. We have gotten the season started. We are 2 weeks in, and boy, is this a magical season. Kids get to be kids, and we are all about it.
It's fantastic. And on the other, also with us, I'll start with Karis Waddington, who's the drum major at Easley. Karis, introduce who's there with you, please.
So with me right now is my mother, Lori Waddington, and my grandmother, Carolyn King.
I want to ask you a question. There's a story about a surprise attic find. Can you tell us this story? Because this is also like incredibly bizarre and interesting part of this story.
So about 2 summers ago, we were up in Michigan in this town called Higgins Lake, and we were going through my grandmother's garage attic space, just kind of clearing out, getting ready for her to move, and we noticed there was a trophy, and at the time we didn't think much of it. We came back the next year, we looked at it some more, and we realized that it was the 3rd place trophy from Class A from the very first Grand Nationals. And there's a nice little image of me in a vintage Phantom Regiment shirt too, holding the trophy that we sent to my director, and we were like, look what we found.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that.
Part of the making the connection to Cam is when we found the trophy. But do you want to cry? And dun, dun, dun.
There it is. Oh gosh. See, and here's what's also interesting. See, I love that. That's got the square logo. If you look at that logo on the front of that, I'm so old school. I love the logo. I love that logo because we went round with the logo then over time. But man, I love the square logo.
Very cool. Very cool. So we transported it down here with love, and it is now in my house.
That just warms my heart. And I will even want to tell you folks here, this trophy that's right over my shoulder, that is the original traveling trophy that was used from 1976 to 1993. All of those little plates have the champion school names and the years on it. We retired it when we went to our new traveling trophy, which then started in 1994, which is this big old, we call it the Eagle. There also, he's got a name, and sorry that is escaping me at the moment because I never named him, but we have some folks, I believe it was the Woodlands High School from Texas, who went, oh, Kevin is his name. Kevin the Eagle, when they brought it back to us, they named it Kevin. So Kevin the trip back from Vandergrift High School in Texas. They are not returning to nationals this year, so they are going to represent it to us during the San Antonio Super Regional. We will bring it back to Indianapolis, and then we will see the weekend of Grand Nationals who it's going to go home with. Yeah. It's fun that this is the original traveling trophy that we keep here in our office.
Hey everyone, there's a lot more to this conversation with Cam Stasa. Listen to our podcast, BOA Today, for this week to hear more about her days in high school and the very first Bands of America Championship in 1976. And you can hear the entire conversation next Monday as a podcast release at the Marching Roundtable. Just go to marchingroundtable.com next Monday to either watch the video or hear the audio version.
One more time.
Hey everyone, it's Tim Hinton from the Marching Roundtable. Now we're going to look at 4 shows from this past weekend's competition, shows that were real standouts that everybody was talking about. With me today are 2 color guard dance movement specialists. Ashley Tran, how are you?
Good, how are you, Tim?
I'm doing great, and one of my favorite people in the whole world is here to join us, Lauren Metz. Lauren, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
So in case you guys want to know who these people are, if you haven't seen Ashley before, Ashley, tell everybody briefly who you are.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Tran. I am a color guard director from Texas, and I'm also a leadership coach.
So Lauren, you and I worked together back in the day at Irmo, South Carolina, with that wonderful Irmo band with Bruce Dinkins. Tell everybody about where you are there and also about, of course, your wonderful dance studio.
I now have a dance studio. We're in our 28th year. I've got about 1,000 students, and we do everything from ballet to jazz to tap to hip hop. You name it, we do it, modern, the whole bit. And we do a little bit in the competitive world, but we also stage a full-length ballet every year. And so that's
great. Well, Lauren, you were way ahead of the curve. Now there are lots of bands that are very successful that have sort of dance teams as their auxiliary. You were doing that back at Irmo. Of course, your members also did other things and had flags and things, but you guys were way ahead of the curve back before it was super cool. So I thought that you would be a great person to have here today. So we're going to talk about 4 shows. The first one we're going to watch is Clear Creek High School from Texas, from the West Houston Regional. Okay, what a great performance. Ashley, you go first. 20 seconds. What do you think?
Oh, that girl, that color guard girl on the 40-yard line, the way she really committed to that movement, it just made my soul so happy. So if she sees this somewhere, great job, young lady.
Gosh, well, my first take was I just loved the color palette. It was so rich and just really caught my eye from the beginning. And I also really enjoyed the fact that I wasn't really expecting them to come out with that second flag. I thought that was a nice kind of surprise. I like surprises. I don't like to know what's coming. And the music was building, and then here we come with the second pop of color. And the fact that they had not a very large guard, but it felt large when I was watching it because the equipment that they chose was big and matched the music. So I just thought that was great. It kind of camouflaged the fact that, you know, it wasn't tons and tons of people out there. I loved it.
Yeah, talk about staging them and you making the most of whatever you can to put all that color out there. And I want to point out to you guys, you may not quite have noticed it, they were performing in a pouring downpour. It was absolutely raining as hard as you can see. I'll show a clip here again, everybody, you can see the raindrops flashing. So they got lots of standing ovations because the rain started as their show was starting, and they marched and did the whole thing through. So double swing flags that are soaking wet, that is really a lot of work.
They were really big. That was a lot of fabric. Mm-hmm.
It's a
Those
workout.
girls were strong.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's look at the next band, Ronald Reagan High School, also from the West Houston Regional. All right, wow, amazing show from Ronald Reagan High School. Lauren, what'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful. I loved the flags looked transparent. I'm sure it was just from where I was, my viewpoint here on the computer screen, but I just thought it was so light and airy. And I love the fact that, you know, your sole focus was on the guard at that point. I thought that I loved all the AB work. I call it a contagion. Other people call it other things, but coming from my stage right to stage left, it was just so engaging. I liked the ribbons. I liked the movement. There was a lot of movement. So that really caught my eye from the beginning.
Absolutely. How about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I think just setting up the field in that way where the color guard takes up the entire canvas and it's bordered by the musicians is such a really cool effect that I don't think I've ever seen like that. I mean, especially within a high school program. So kudos to their designer for being so innovative and outside of the box, or maybe it's not innovative because people might have done that years ago and I just don't know. But I'm a huge fan of how that was set up on the field. Great job.
And if you are a band director and you have ever said to anybody, oh, I've got too many color guard members. No, there's no such thing. There is no such thing. Like whoever you can get out there, look at all of those performers and all that fabric and all that field coverage. There's no such thing as too many auxiliary. I'm going on record here. We have proof in the pudding from Ronald Reagan. What a great show. Up next, Evelyn High School from Colorado at the Midland Regional. So Ashley, what'd you think? 20 seconds, go.
I loved that the band was wearing that, I can't think of the word for it, shawl, but I love when a band really digs into the theme and they incorporate like the bed. I love that. Clearly I can tell what it's about. It's maybe a nightmare. I think that's what I was getting from it. But I think whenever you have a small band, you can create such great GE by just digging into the details like that.
Great point. How about you, Lauren?
Well, likewise, I was really drawn in from the get-go from all of the costuming just across the board, and it really intrigued me. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Nightmare makes a lot of sense, but I didn't get that at the beginning, but I was still really intrigued, and I loved all the earth tones. I just thought that was really, really great. And then the one soloist coming out in white, that was a nice contrast because it really drew your attention to her. And I could tell there was a story going on with only 20 seconds. I'm not sure exactly what the story was, but I was very intrigued to see what that might be.
That's right, because everybody, we're only watching the clips and we haven't necessarily seen the entire show. So that makes perfect sense. And I got to tell you, I judged a show this past weekend. I just did judging commentary, didn't have to give scores, thank goodness. But I was in Miami this weekend and I saw 2 different shows that had a bed on the field. Everybody loves these shows where there's a nightmare or something and they wake up and it works. And I got to tell you, this is quite possibly the best bed prop I've ever seen. Like that was beautiful. Like whoever made that with the like wrought iron looking, like that was like total 10 as far as bed props on the field go. So I love that. Very, very creative thing going on there from Colorado. All right, next up, we're going to talk about our last band, Plymouth Canton Educational Park from Michigan, from the Toledo Regional.
Can we get some meat in that sauce? Madam, have you decided on your entree?
So, wow, what a production. They've set up an entire restaurant. The woodwinds are waiters. The color guard are the people coming to the restaurant to eat. And the whole brass and percussion are the chefs. And they have the kitchen. Quite a production. Laura, what did you think?
Well, I'm really big with color palettes. So again, I have to say that I really enjoyed the contrast between the burgundies and the golds, and totally looked like a restaurant over there on side B. I really, really enjoyed this show. The little bit that I saw from the clip, I enjoyed the movement from the band members too. It really complemented the music well. There was a lot going on, but it was very well staged, so I didn't feel like I was watching a lot of different things at one time. It all blended together well, even though there were 3 distinct areas on the field of things happening.
Yeah, absolutely right. Ashley, how about you?
I'm gonna make another costume comment. Again, I love that. It's such a cost-effective and simple way to contribute to general effect while not having to spend a whole lot on a custom design, which is really great. So good job to that program. And I love how they got they kind of set up the stage in that way, and it was going from the opposite ends of the field. It was really nice, very appealing to the eye.
Absolutely. And having been able to see the whole show, it's amazing. Like the voiceovers sort of take you through the whole meal and you're ordering, and then somebody complains about their food, on and on. There's a scene where all the chefs and the drums go back there and bang on pots and pans. It's everything you would want it to be. Like they do everything that you can imagine. And I got to tell you, the girl that throws that rifle toss, like they knew right where to put her, and she was nails, and she caught that thing. That was like, this is how you do it, everybody. You find that soloist, you put him in the right spot, and everybody sees her catch that beautiful toss. So great job. Really, really fun show. Ashley and Lauren, you guys were wonderful. Thanks for talking shows with me today.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Bring it in.
Don't miss next week when we talk about all the excitement of this coming weekend. We review some shows. I'll be talking with Deb Lafferty of Music for All. We hear from couples who are one band director, one marching arts designer. That should be interesting. And we hear about a band that actually built a working robot that travels around the field during their show. Don't miss next week's show. If you've enjoyed it, share it with a friend. This is the Beast of the Marching Arts. See you next week. Okay, you were definitely caffeinated. That was fantastic.
Fox 5 TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now!